what are your thoughts on the Salah situation, Glenn?
Can see it from both points, really. Couldn't understand Jamie being a Liverpool fan, and it isn't ideal. But if he does that leading into, I don't know, a Leicester and a Nottingham Forest, it probably doesn't quite have the same effect. So it's been, I imagine...
Feels a bit choreographed.
Well, it does, but obviously he scored 2 goals in that game as well. So it's all culminated in this sort of comment. And from a personal perspective of a player, I can understand it because this story's been rumbling on way too long.
Yeah, I agree.
So I can see it from both sides.
And I guess there's negotiating that still kind of needs to be done. Like generally, you want that to be as private as possible.
Give him what he wants. Give him
right?
Irreplaceable.
We put a video out. We
oh my god! Did you see him when he took his top off? He's still absolutely shredded.
Yeah, he's absolutely. Even his nipples are admirable. It's incredible. I've never seen such circular. We put a little clip from the podcast a couple of weeks ago. We spoke about Salah in detail, and I put forward the idea of, you got Van Dijk, you got Trent, you got Salah. That's the big one, and everyone's saying, who would you go for? And people a lot of people saying Trent, and I think Salah's I think Salah.
In terms of who you give the new contract to.
So on the last podcast, we were talking about those players that I'll kind of, one, I'll fix it myself, but 2, guaranteed output. And I think that the guarantee of Mohamed Salah that you've seen and that there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't see for the next 3 years, I think Salah is the biggest loss of that 3 for me.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I think for me, it's quite a simplistic way of looking at it. For me, it's harder to create than it is to destroy. Now, Trent is not a destroyer. He's a creator from deeper, right? But the ones that can go and actually literally win the games, the Glens, the Salahs in different ways.
That comment.
Yeah.
I really like that there. What was that? Roll that again.
The Glens.
It's harder to create than it is to destroy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you meant the Glens.
But I think, but the ones that can if you're, let's say, centre back, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but you've got so much protection around you. But the ones that can actually open up the opposition and then find the back of the net or make win the game. I just think they're the ones they're the ones that you have to find into your team. They're the ones people a lot of things they talk about building you start from the defence, right? I think you work out how to win games in the attack and then you find the places to make that happen. That's how I would do it anyway.
Yeah.
But Salah, who's been definitely he's got to be top 3 this Premier League since 2010 in terms of just
he's one
winning
of the greatest.
The game.
He's in the conversation, but the greatest ever, no?
I think
Premier League player. Yeah, of course.
Conversation.
The efficiency of that man, because it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not like a smooth guile technique where you're looking at someone like Hazard is more obvious talent, whatever that means, but just to produce again and again. We need the 3 points. I'll get the 3 points, and it's like if Liverpool don't have Salah as far ahead as they are right now, they don't win the league. They don't win the league.
Yeah, I totally agree. How do you feel about the sort of the age element in this? Like this fact that there's a number next to his name in terms of what his age is, and therefore...
Is that 32?
Yeah, I think he's 32, yeah. Because that would have been something that you had to deal with as someone who played well into his 30s.
I mean, yeah, it becomes...
That must have been fucking annoying, no? You're going to I've just scored all these goals, but you've decided that I can't play anymore. That must have been surely infuriating.
From my perspective, Glenn's skill set didn't have to necessarily rely on having to be 27 years old.
But it was surely, once you got to 34 onwards, 33 onwards, it was always, or 30, I don't know, you tell me, it always would have been part of the conversation, no?
Yeah, I think that there's, your resale value diminishes right away. So you're like a dying commodity. It's true, huh? That's the truth of the matter.
Brutal, but yeah.
It's the truth that football is brutal. So the way between Trent and Salah is like, yeah, I agree with you. 3 more years, easy, top level, game changer, makes a difference, without any doubt.
And even if you lose 5%.
And also, irreplaceable. You can't go and buy anyone on the planet now, or Liverpool can't afford anyone on the planet right now that are going to come in and fill his boots. Okay?
Yeah.
He knows what the city is. He knows what the club is. He knows everything about Liverpool, right? then I think of Trent. Okay, and Trent might not give you as much going forward. He's still very,
Yeah, of course.
he's still very creative, but you can. So he could be a link between the old and the new at Liverpool, because eventually that generation of your Salahs, obviously Mane's gone for Firmino, Van Dijk will go at some point, who knows, but he could be that bridge between that old successful group to hopefully this new dawn of success at Liverpool, and he could install those values that group have taught him. So
he could be the poster boy for that almost in a way as well, like the one is that what you're kind of saying as well?
He's the one that holds people accountable. This is how we do it. This is Liverpool. He's a local lad, don't forget. Sure. So he wears that heart on his sleeve, kind of the club on his sleeve. So yeah, it depends what you feel as a football club is more important to you.
And what about the sort of the running down of a contract? Like what's that like the last 6 months of a contract?
Last 6 months of
How
contract.
often do you think about?
Everyone will be different. I'm sure Mo Salah is a lot more relaxed about it than I was. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's your life's in flux. You're preparing for the unknown. Are you gonna stay in the house, country, club that you're at, in your environment that you're comfortable in, or is there a new challenge ahead that you don't know what it is? So you're weighing all this up. You're chatting to people. People are chatting to you. You become readily available because of the rules, kind of thing. So it's like your agent's more on the phone. You might be looking at houses elsewhere. It's like a whole host of things. Depends how old you are, like kind of thing. Looking at schools for your kids.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to take into account.
And in terms of the dressing room, how obviously every dressing room is different. You have no clue what's going on in Liverpool's dressing room, but how often is people will know your dates? How often will those conversations come up in terms of the players themselves?
No, I think the players, as long as they feel that you're giving your all for the cause and you're still the player that you always were and you're still as invested, then they're like, your business is your business.
Right. Because I always think there's a bit of a theory, like when you are running it down. So one theory I'll put, Junior Hoylett had a really tough time for us, and then the year his contract was up, he just caught fire. I feel, is that a thing? Yeah, it's a thing.
I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm not sure if it is or not.
I think maybe
subconsciously, maybe.
Yeah, maybe instead of
like a
fear of failure,
yeah.
it's like it's you're looking to achieve a new club.
I don't think any players go into a club down tools for 2 years and in the third year just spark into life.
Yeah.
But subconsciously they might think, oh my, I need to do a bit more.
No, I agree.
The circumstances around that as well, manager changes, personnel,
things in your own life, right? Whatever. Interesting. Will he sign? Final question. Do you think he'll sign?
Depends if Liverpool give him the money.
Yeah. It's as simple as that, I think.
I think that comment shows that he's willing to.
Yeah, he's sticking on Liverpool, isn't he? I mean, I haven't heard it from what you said. It sounds like he's sticking on Liverpool to go and then do it. And
yeah.
But then again,
that is one of the things I am most impressed with Arne Slot about.
It's just kind of stayed out.
No, it's just how he's managed. So like the club was in a moment of uncertainty to a certain extent. Like obviously losing a long-term manager who's been super successful and built them back into a juggernaut of modern day football kind of thing. So you've got that going on, but then on top of that, you've got your three main players, your three big players left from that generation who are still very relevant today. All are they staying? Are they going? And he's managed that so well.
Yeah, you're right. I think we talk about this more in the podcast with Lawrence, where he touches on, yes, you've lost the leader in Klopp, but the culture within that group and those three players in particular, you got Andy Robertson in there as well. A lot of players have been there a long time, like Alisson Becker. I think Arne Slot kind of not leaving them to it, but like not ripping it up and trying to change too much. It's been a really, really smart move. And if you enjoyed that video, more relaxed conversational content is on more James Allcott, and we've got a video with Julien Laurent, the fantastic French journalist, talking about Mbappe right here.